What are we looking at today? Well, we're going to look at 5 knife design items that for me are showstoppers in the purchase of a knife. It's kind of picky Annie stuff, but there are some things that just I cannot have in a knife if I'm going to purchase it. So we're going to turn this around. We're going to take a look at 5 different knives that have 5 different issues. But first, even before you guys listen to music, I want to remind you guys, I have a merchandise store, guys. No one is utilizing it. I would really like to see a lot of people getting the merchandise and sending me pictures of them wearing it so I can put it in the videos. So with that being said, guys, let's turn this around and take a look at it from above. But first, turn down that volume because here comes a little bit of music. Shut up, dogs. I'm filming. Guys, I've got 5 knives here that all have examples of things that would stop me from buying a knife. Some of them would not prevent me from actually buying a knife because you can overcome them, but some of them are just unavoidable. It's just something like you're going to deal with it the whole time you have the knife. So let's go ahead and we'll start from at the bottom tier and work our way to things that are horrible. So we'll go in order from least bad to absolutely would not even think about it when it comes to purchase. Okay, and so the first one we're going to talk about is pocket clips. Now, all knives these days have pocket clips. I do know this. But the problem is a lot of times a pocket clip is an afterthought. Now, the nice thing is there are enough pocket clips out there. The whole pattern on these knives is so similar these days that there are replacement pocket clips. This is the Kaiser T1, I believe. Yeah, the Kaiser T1, it's a very nice knife. It reminds me a lot, if you want to know the truth, of the Civivi Riffle in the way it cuts and the way it feels in hand. But it has a really tall pocket clip. Now, this pocket clip, really, the only reason it's like this is because you have to screw it in from the top. You could have easily found a better pocket clip for this knife and put a better pocket clip on it, because the fact is, short and tall. I know a lot of guys like deep carry pocket clips, but let me point something out to you. This is a relatively deep carry pocket clip, and it is not uncomfortable. It's not so tall all the way. It's got kind of a gentler transition. You can easily take one of these pocket clips and put something better on it. I really wish some of these companies would stop just, let's design this great knife and then just throw on standard whatever pocket clip. Now, sometimes these pocket clips like this can be put in positions where they're not as intrusive, they're not as bad. So a case in point was the Kaiser Lan versus the Beagle from Olate, which is also a Kaiser knife. Same pocket clip, but just in positioning, much more comfortable. It really sucks when these companies take these beautifully designed knives and then just they completely like, oh, well, just whatever pocket clip we've got laying around. I know it's more cost effective, but the fact is that is something that really irritates me. I don't like these pocket clips that stand up so proud here at the very back, because where's that sitting? It's sitting right in the point there. So could you take this pocket clip off and carry it without? Yes. Pocket slip, there's a replacement pocket clips for this, but you could easily just find something that's more comfortable, or look at the knife and design it in at the beginning instead of just willy-nilly make the knife, then screw it, just throw on whatever pocket clip. So there's the first one, pocket clips. Pocket clips can be a deal breaker, especially if it's not something you can replace. So the next one is tip down only carry. And this is another horrendous pocket clip. I hate tip down carry. I don't like the idea of it sitting down. I don't like the fact that now my flipper tab a lot of times is up above along the pocket line. You can see it in the picture that I'm posting over here. That a lot of times that puts your flipper tab up where it's going to catch on things. Pocket clips already catch on things, but to then have your flipper tab above as well. So now you've got this long pocket clip, and this one is pretty horrible. And now you've got your flipper tab up in a position where it can catch on things too, like the seam of a shirt and undo the bottom of a shirt, catch on those seams. catch on things, and it pulls it out of your pocket in a fashion where, like, if it's like this and I pull the knife out of my pocket, tip down, I've already got the knife in position. I pull this knife out of my pocket like that, I'm kind of in position, but it just feels weird. And at this point, so many people are carrying everything tipped down. Now, you have some options. Let me show you. Spyderco, even though I'm not such a fan of their knives these days, has always offered this. It's not that hard. Like on this knife, you can see you got a pivot there. It's not that hard to add an additional spot on the knife to put your pocket clip tip up as such. Left, right, tip up, 4-point carry. This is a FRN handle, I believe. This is that crappy knife that doesn't even have lockup or detent. This was sent to me as a joke, and I am going to try and fix it. But that tip down option that a lot of people don't like, that tip down only, can easily be overcome. You could have easily found a different pocket clip, put this in a different position. Spyderco has done it. Look, around your pivot here, or just down here on your lanyard hole. Either way you look at it, you've got 4 points on this. And you've now allowed people to have multiple different carry options. Left hand, right hand, tip up, tip down. It's just pretty garbage to only have that. And like I said, I don't like tip down. The other reason I don't like tip down, that pocket clip up here gets into that same ergos. That is in a spot, I'm telling you right now, that is extremely uncomfortable. Pocket clip up near the pivot where you're really going to clamp down on it. Not a good look, guys. Give people options. Give your customers options where they have multiple carry points. It's one of the things that Spyderco has always done really well is the ease of carry and ergonomics. It is great. So there you go. Pocket clip placement for tip down only carry. Not a fan. It would honestly be a showstopper for me. I don't think I would purchase a knife that had tip down only carry. Guys, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I apologize. If my voice sounds weird, it's not your audio. I definitely have some of the worst allergies I've had in a long time. So the next item on the list for me is partially serrated blades. I am absolutely not a fan of partial serrated blades. They are a pain in the ass. I really, at this point, don't see why we have them. This is not a comfortable knife at all either, on top of that. But, you know, serrated blades, either you have a serrated blade or you have a straight edge blade. These combination blades are never ground well. You always wind up, as you can see, getting down in the edges back and forth. And the fact is, they're just horrible because you're wanting to do some fine cutting. And when you're wanting to do fine, clean cutting, a lot of times you've got to get down on it and really put some pressure on it. Well, look what's in your way here. So either go fully serrated or straight edge. And I mean, if I really need a knife that is serrated, I'll buy a full serrated knife. I actually have one. I have a Spyderco Matriarch 2, and it's great for what it is. It's a self-defense tool. These serrated blades have gone out of style, but companies are still doing them. 1990 called, they want their knife design back. They are not great. And the problem is, a lot of times these serrations aren't done as well on these 50/50s as they are on other knives. And like I said, you're losing where you've got your most control to put the most force on it to get a good clean cut. And now that's not a good clean cut. It's going to be ragged and haggard. And so I'm not a fan of serrations in the first place. And to have a split duty blade like that, like a 50/50, absolutely not a fan. I would not at this point purchase a knife that looked like this, that had this style blade. It's just something that's completely out of what I would even look for in a knife. And honestly, that's one you can't get by. You can't overcome that. If it comes 50/50, that's just one of those things. So if you tried to sell me a knife that had a 50/50 style blade, I would not take it. And if it's the only option, I just wouldn't buy that model at all. So there you go. Half serrated blades. So here we go, guys. Here is another one. Assisted opening knives. Not only is this just a garbage knife, it's horrible. This is that Elite Edge. This is what I'm carrying in lieu of my Norseman for a month because I did a thing on a live feed. Assisted opening knives. I personally don't like them. I find them dangerous. I think they're more dangerous than a push button auto such as this. Way more dangerous, because with this you have a modicum of control. I can pick and choose when that fires. Assisted opening knives are less safe, in my opinion, than just a flipper knife or a full auto. So you've got a little leaf spring in here that is what's operating it. That little spring is forcing that blade open. You reach a point where you push on it and it flies open. Now, the problem with this is 99% of the companies that are doing these assisted opening only knives, CRKT, Frost Cutlery, and all these garbage companies like that, but CRKT and some of those companies, this is the only assisted opening knife I have that's not, that is, I don't have a nice one to show it as an example. But assisted opening knives typically are tip down only. And what have you got here? Again, your flipper tab is up. And if it gets caught on something, that knife could feasibly come open in your pocket, which is not an issue with a push button auto, because typically you have to push further down in. So these assisted opening knives, not only are they always horrible and it masks horrible action and detent and things like that, they eventually that spring's going to break. You really don't have any other detent. There's not like a detent hole that's really holding it in place. It just kind of locks in. They are not great. And I honestly don't think they're safe. And like I said, 99% of the time, you're going to find them. They're in a tip down only configuration. We'll put your flipper tab up above the pocket. As you saw this exact knife in my pocket earlier in the video, but I'll go ahead and put it here. Good chance you're going to catch it on stuff. So there you go, guys. Assisted opener. Full on, no joke, showstopper. Would never purchase one again. I did this this was part of a fun little fundraiser thing we did on the channel. So there you go. There's that. Cut, that thing's hideous. Here comes the next knife. I'm probably going to get a little hate for using this knife for this segment, but we're going to talk about bad ergos. This is that Vero Isotope. I know a lot of people love it. I find this knife an ergonomic nightmare. Bad ergos are going to ruin your knife experience. Is this a well-made knife? Yeah, you can tell. But everything about this is just bad ergos from start to finish. You have this deep thing here where I can't get 2 fingers in. I'm right up on that. That is very sharp. Those points are thin and sharp. So when I'm in it, I'm down in there like that. And that's a sharp point. Up here, when I'm down in it, that is like a chisel right into my finger. Pocket clip, hotspot city. Everything about this is weird and uncomfortable, and I hate it. The fact is that they scallop the wrong side of this, in my opinion. When you look at a knife that it's done right on, like this PMP Big Boy, this side's lower, you've got a little lip, you can get in on that lock and unlock it super easy. This one, it's down in. I have to slide my thumb down in. It's exactly opposite of what I would expect. Pocket clip, super hot spotty. This knife is not going to get a good review. I hate to do it. I know a lot of people love it. Stands up really tall, and for as thick and big as that pocket clip is, it really doesn't have a lot of tension on it. But it is a hot spot. This right here, ridiculous, uncomfortable. You can see it already. I actually have a red spot that is close to being like a blood blister just from being down in on it, because by the time I get my hand in it, oops, sorry, hang on. About that, I bumped the tripod. What I was saying, by the time I get my hand down in on it, I got a hot spot here. It's hot there. It's hot here. It's, to quote my friend Nick Shabazz, it's like having a handful of hornets. It's effing horrible. This, I swear to God, is the most expensive bad knife I've had come in, and I'm going to piss a lot of people off when I do the review on this. And the other thing, on top of the ergos, in and out of pocket, it catches material. It doesn't come in and out of pocket. Well, bad ergos will ruin a knife, and having bad ergos will take a knife that could have been great and take it completely out of my wheelhouse. This thing has got a great blade shape and everything, but the handle ergos, complete and utter showstopper. When you go from function to flash, this is what you wind up with, which is a flashy integral that just has got bad design elements all over it that make it uncomfortable. So there you go, guys. That was 5 showstoppers. This is one I can't get by. Ergos on a knife, one of the most important things. This knife, super ergonomic at a much lower price point than this knife. So I apologize if this one made you upset, but yeah, bad ergos, just all day are bad. And it's a showstopper because a knife is a tool. And if you're not willing to use it, it's a waste of money. So there you go, guys. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and get you on about your day. There you go, guys. That was 5 items, 5 design issues that will prevent me from purchasing a knife. I call them showstoppers. The biggest one is the ergos. Ergos on a knife have got to be right because it's a tool and you're going to use it. So guys, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I can still see it even though you can't. It gives me a metric and it lets me know what you guys do and don't like. But if you do give it a thumbs down, you got to tell me what about it you didn't like because I can't change the content if I don't know that information. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon, but make sure you've got notifications turned on your device so you get all notifications. If you don't, you won't see it. And I do put up a lot of content. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do a live feed at 7:30. I put up a video every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's at least 2 videos, sometimes a short at lunchtime. So there you go, guys. Lots of content. If you do want to support the channel financially, there's a handful of ways you can do it. They're all in the description below. First and foremost is my membership. I have a tier-based membership. Each tier gets you different benefits. Pick the tier that gets you what you want out of the membership. But everyone gets access to my Gilded server where we chat. They also say $5 off my sharpening service per knife. Other ways you can support the channel, I have affiliate links down below. I have links to gear, EDC items, tools, stones, all that stuff, knives, anything you purchase, I get a little bit of it at checkout. And the final way is I have a merchandise store, as I mentioned in the beginning, where you can purchase shirts and stuff. It's on Ember Shirt Co. And I've set you up a coupon code that works anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. And that coupon code is CrazySharp. All one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, saves you 10% at checkout. Guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section if it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.